You're streaming CBS News Bay Area.
Right now at 9 o'clock, taking a live look outside. You can see Sutro Tower there amongst the clouds. It is Wednesday, December 3rd. Lots to get to this morning as we follow stories in our community and all across the Bay Area. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Ann Makovic, and here's a look at some of our news headlines right now. Breaking news. The teen accused of shooting 3 people at the Valley Fair Mall has been charged with attempted murder. The Santa Clara County DA is also asking a judge to try the teen as an adult. The 17-year-old was arrested over the weekend. He's also facing gang charges. A 21-year-old woman was also arrested, accused of helping the alleged shooter. All 3 people who were shot are expected to survive. San Francisco and Santa Clara counties are teaming up to sue the Trump administration. They claim that cuts to HUD homeless grants mean that they could be losing millions of dollars, which could result in thousands of people in the Bay Area losing housing. California has already sued the Trump administration over cuts to housing subsidies. And the city of San Francisco is moving forward with the plan that could transform parts of the city. The Board of Supervisors approved the Family Zoning Plan 7-4 yesterday. That will allow taller, denser housing on the city's north and west sides. Critics of the plan argue that it could ruin those low-rise, quieter neighborhoods in those parts of the city. Let's get a check on our first alert forecast halfway through the week. Meteorologist Jessica Birch says some offshore winds should help clear the air.
40s in the forecast later into this afternoon. It's similar to yesterday. We have another day of 60s, anywhere from the Santa Clara Valley all the way off into the East Bay. Let's actually zoom all the way into places like Antioch, all the way down into Livermore. Now, throughout this afternoon, it's relatively calm in these communities, but it's important to note that places along the coast or even close to Oakland, San Francisco, all along our Baymouth shoreline, as we head into the afternoon hours today, there's still a chance of coastal flooding, and we're monitoring that closely all the way down to places like Santa Cruz and Monterey, too. Reason being, king tides have returned, and that's the case each day as we head into this week's forecast until Sunday. We're going to monitor that closely for our low-lying communities, especially if you commute along those areas. Another day of those beach hazard statements. We've been seeing some choppy waters along the coast, so be very careful out there, too. We're also sitting in the low 60s along our coastline, so personal preference, not the biggest fan of heading into the water if it's that cold anyways. Here's what's happening for us as we head outside throughout the next couple days. A couple things to mention. Over the weekend, our air quality wasn't the best. It's Wednesday now. We're starting to see some improvements in the forecast, but we're still kind of flirting in between that good and moderate forecast, widespread throughout the Bay. So that's going to vary as we head into the afternoon hours today, but we'll continue to monitor that closely here in the Weather Center. Taking a look at the next 7 days, we have 60s and 50s, kind of flirting back and forth with each other each day. Sunnier skies on tap for us, though, heading into Friday and Saturday to kick off this weekend. Partly cloudy skies with that morning fog returning into early next week. Really, it's a mild forecast for us throughout the Bay Area. Not a drop of rain in sight throughout the next 7 days. Temperatures are right around average, at least along the Bay. A little bit below average for some of our inland spots. Of course, upper 50s and lower 60s. It's chilly during this time of year, but this is also the time of year where our temperatures start becoming a little bit more hand in hand, unlike summer months where we're sitting in the triple digits off into our inland spots with 60s along the coast. So a little bit different for this time of year.
All right, heading back to Santa Clara County, where DA Jeff Rosen has asked for the teen suspect in the Valley Fair Mall shooting to be tried as an adult. Veronica Macias is outside Santa Clara County Juvenile Hall and has been following updates all morning long. What are we learning right now, Veronica?
Good morning, Ann. Well, this morning we're learning from the DA, Jeff Rosen, who just wrapped up a news conference here before going inside to that court hearing. That is, he is filing attempted murder charges along with others. But what really stands out, he says, in this case is that he is petitioning the judge, asking that the suspect in the Black Friday shooting be transferred to adult court. He says there is a message to be sent to the community here, and in order to keep crime low in the community of San Jose, there needs to be accountability. And keeping the suspect here at Juvenile Hall, that is not going to happen, because at most the juvenile could be seen somewhere between 3 to 5 years, and that is at most. So he says this was inches away from being murder charges, possibly a mass murder at the mall. Take a listen to his reasons for why he wants to transfer this case.
Number one, 3 to 5 years in a juvenile facility does not reflect the seriousness, the violence, and the dangerousness of this shooter's conduct. Let's face it, We're inches away from murder and a few feet away from a mass murder. Number two, I don't believe that 3 to 5 years in a juvenile facility will rehabilitate this 17-year-old. I don't believe it will.
The DA also said that if the suspect is transferred to adult court, they could be facing 15 years before they're eligible for parole. Also pointing out that this is a suspect the judge is familiar with, mentioned a connection here to local gangs, but the decision to transfer that case won't be made just yet, Ann.
All right, well, it certainly was a high-profile crime, so if they're trying to teach a lesson, this would be the one to use. We will continue to follow this case, obviously. Thanks, Veronica. Meantime, students in San Francisco back in class today at Burton High, one day after a student was shot on campus. A suspect is in custody, and the student who was shot is expected to be okay. Police say this was not a random act and was an isolated incident. Kelsey Thorne talked to students and parents on campus.
And then I just heard like the intercom and everybody was just running and screaming, talking about, oh, there's an active shooter, there's an active shooter.
Terrifying moments for students at Burton High School Tuesday afternoon after school officials say a student was shot by another juvenile.
I called my mom as soon as I got into my advisory class, and I was texting her that I love her and stuff, because I was really scared, and then I started crying.
Students told us the shooting happened during their lunch period when many were in the cafeteria eating.
I was like really confused, and I was like, what's happening? I tried to get to advisory, but it was closed.
Bridget Paris Hernandez told me school officials came over the intercom telling students to get to their classrooms. She says everyone just started running.
I just heard a lot of things, a lot of voices and noises. I don't know, I saw a boy crying. It was really scary.
According to police, the shooting happened just after noon on campus. The victim was shot in the leg and taken to the hospital where they are now in stable condition. Police say the suspect took off running but was later tracked down and arrested.
Officers from our Crime Gun Investigation Center quickly identified the juvenile male suspect and took him into custody at the 1400 block of Shafter Avenue a short time ago. The officers also recovered a firearm during the arrest.
Police could not yet say whether or not the suspect was a student at the school. Parents were alerted of the incident via text message, and while classes continued after the lockdown was lifted, many parents opted to come pick up their kids.
So what happened in the school, I don't know, just like had to get my daughters out.
A lot of things been happening. See what happened in Stockton and other places in the Bay Area already.
Superintendent Dr. Maria Sue thanks students and staff for their quick actions, saying protocol was followed perfectly.
SFPD responded immediately, and our staff followed secured protocols immediately.
Still, many students told me the experience had rocked them and will linger long after the school day ends.
I'm really happy my dad came for me because I didn't want to stay in school.
San Francisco Unified says they will have extra support staff at school. Coming up in our next half hour here on CBS News Bay Area, new rules for some homes and buildings, why they're doing away with wood. Plus, remembering the albino alligator at the California Academy of Sciences, how Claude embodied the spirit of San Francisco.
Incredible. So beautiful. We love Claude. It's really a sad day.
Well, it's another cool and chilly day for us here in the Bay Area with daytime highs sitting in the 50s and 60s widespread throughout the Bay. Now in our inland spots, we're in the low 60s with partly cloudy skies, which has really helped us when it came to these beautiful sunsets that we've been seeing recently. And of course, this morning's beautiful sunrise too. We'll see partly cloudy skies again tomorrow, sunnier conditions as we head into Friday and Saturday. But notice how daytime highs don't change that much even as we head into this weekend. Now we make our way over into the Bay, similar conditions, upper 50s flirting with lower 60s each day for the next 7.
Today, investigators are still trying to figure out what led to yesterday's fiery crash that killed 2 people, including a child, on Highway 87 in San Jose. That wreck shut down northbound lanes for hours, 4 cars collided just before 11 in the morning, just north of Kirtner Avenue. Authorities say 2 Teslas and a Lexus burst into flames, while a 4th car drove away after the impact. Crews rushed 2 survivors to the hospital, and so far, no update on their conditions. Officials say it could take days to determine how this deadly chain reaction crash started. The cleanup continues today after an AC Transit bus slammed into an auto body shop in Oakland yesterday. Police say it happened after the bus collided with an SUV and then jumped the curb. Our chopper shows about a third of the bus wedged inside the building as crews work to secure the damaged structure. This is a look at the surveillance footage of the moment there that the bus veered off the road and barreled into that auto shop. Happened just after 1 o'clock yesterday afternoon at 68th and Foothill. Witnesses say the bus hit a white SUV that tried to make an illegal U-turn, and then the situation spiraled from there. 4 people were sent to the hospital for minor injuries. Nobody inside the building was hurt. We heard from the auto shop's owner, who rushed to help when the crash happened.
We were in the back of the shop working on some cars, and we just heard 3 loud bangs. It sounded like a bomb at first. We had to help like 8 people off the bus. We had to break the windows to get the people out. It was really scary. Yeah, I ain't never seen nothing like this in my life.
The Oakland Fire Department says the building will need to be evaluated by a structural engineer. Some homeowners could soon say goodbye to real wood outside of their home. A new rule in Marin County is meant to cut down on the spread of wildfires in high-risk areas, and it's already sparking debate. But as John Ramos reports, it's also leading to innovations in fire-safe construction.
There are a lot of places in Marin County where people live right next to nature. It's the reason people love living here. But the threat of wildfire has people thinking differently about a lot of things, including the materials that they build their houses with. It's called WUI, short for Wildland-Urban Interface, and so many people have chosen to build their homes among the trees that places like Marin are scrambling to prevent a catastrophic wildfire.
We create defensible space and fire breaks. And then we also, in the building codes, look at hardening the envelopes of structures. And by hardening, I mean looking at the materials that we use for roofs, windows, and siding.
In November, Marin officials voted to align their fire codes with that of the state, banning any new home construction with wood siding in WUI areas within their jurisdiction. What's not clear now is what those homes will be made of.
They are coming out with products more and more because this is an issue.
You know, to do what they're suggesting is going to have to be kind of more of a modern type look, I think. If somebody did something like that here, it's really going to stand out. People would probably would frown on it.
Joe Famali has lived in the hills above San Rafael for more than 35 years and takes fire prevention seriously. He recently removed all the flammable juniper bushes in front of his home and likes the look of the new metal gate that completes the Zone Zero surrounding his home.
I think it's a good thing to do from a fire safe standpoint, plus aesthetically, it's a lot better than the wood gate that I had.
But he wonders whether the residents would be willing to give up the warmth that wood siding brings to a home.
The wood look is kind of what seems to fit in the neighborhood here. I don't know what, I can't see a modern house in the neighborhood. It would definitely stand out.
But if necessity is the mother of invention, Clough Construction is helping with the delivery. The company, which built Joe's new gate, specializes in decking with an eye to fire prevention. And owner Scott Clough says the construction industry has made huge strides in producing materials that resist burning without being an eyesore.
10, 15 years ago, there was hardly any choices. You know, if you didn't have a stucco house, they were pretty much all wood. So I think the construction industry has pushed it, along with the insurance industry, to make it more fire resistant.
For example, this material made from PVC looks and feels like wood, but won't rot or turn gray like early forms of composite decking. And there's no reason the same material couldn't be used for exterior siding as well.
And that's what is attracting people a little bit more, is that it's not the ugly old composite that it used to be.
Right now we've got a lot of support in our community around home hardening, and we want to maintain that support, every step of the way.
The county understands they need buy-in from the residents, so they're taking a cautious approach, hoping demand will continue to spur innovation to produce building materials that people will be proud to adopt.
So right now, the regulation only applies to new home construction. The board stopped short of extending it to home remodels. The new rules do go into effect next year. A former police officer was just sentenced to 7.5 years in prison for his role in a widespread corruption scandal in East Contra Costa County. Devin Wenger is a former cop for the city of Antioch. He was convicted in September of conspiring with other officers to injure and intimidate people. He had already been convicted in May of conspiring to distribute steroids and deleting evidence from his phone. Wenger's sentence is the longest yet of the 10 former Antioch and Pittsburgh officers charged in a years-long federal investigation. It all started after the release of racist and homophobic text messages, leading to the department being placed under federal oversight. At one point, nearly half of Antioch's police force was suspended. Today, the Bay Area is continuing to remember San Francisco's most famous alligator, Claude, the albino alligator, at the California Academy of Sciences. He died at 30 years old. Claude hatched back in 1995 at a Louisiana alligator farm and moved into his swamp at the museum back in 2008, quickly becoming its unofficial mascot. He had just celebrated his 30th birthday in September, drawing crowds who had grown up visiting him. And reaction still pouring in on social media following Claude's death. This is a look at the comments under Cal Academy's post announcing Claude's death. Some include the San Francisco and Oakland Zoos, Golden State Valkyries, and the DeYoung Museum. Amanda Harry spoke with Cal Academy visitors about what Claude meant to them.
A San Francisco icon, gone but not forgotten.
He's always been a symbol of San Francisco.
An entire wall of California Academy of Sciences gift store dedicated to Claude merchandise. Everything from magnets to stuffed toys. Claire Buckley picked up a Claude sweatshirt to remember him. She moved from Ireland to San Francisco in 1995, the same year Claude was born. She always felt a connection with the albino alligator and wanted to share her love for him with others.
Well, my friend Chris came from Cleveland, Ohio, and I wanted him to see Claude.
That's why they came to the museum on Tuesday.
But we were searching everywhere for him, and then we found out that he died today.
Yeah, very sad.
And they weren't the only ones who were sad. People stopped by all afternoon to remember Claude. The alligator captured the hearts of everyone who met him. Back in September, Cal Academy celebrated his 30th birthday. More than 1,000 people turned out. He even received a specially made birthday cake of fish and ice. Ali Lardenois lives just across the street. She's a member of the museum and would come by all the time to see Claude, always taking a picture to send to friends.
Amazing. Incredible. So beautiful. We love Claude. It's really a sad day.
She says she felt emotional when she learned he died.
My wife sent me the Instagram post announcing his passing, and it brought tears to my eyes a little bit.
In recent weeks, Claude's appetite waned. He was moved out of his enclosure to undergo treatment for a suspected infection. A full exam and necropsy will be conducted at UC Davis to determine a cause of death. Buckley says Claude will be missed, and he was the ideal representative for the city he called home.
I think it's very perfect how he was an albino animal for San Francisco, because San Francisco prides itself on being different and accepting anyone who's different. So he was the perfect animal for San Francisco, actually.
Well, the California Academy of Sciences says they are going to hold a public memorial sometime in the near future. Still ahead here on CBS News Bay Area, he's been a 49er for about a month, but he's already been a game changer on defense. We're hearing from the player who is making strides.
Well, all throughout the Bay Area today and tomorrow, we're seeing 60s in the forecast for us, widespread from San Jose off into the East Bay, stretched up into the Napa Valley. We're kind of flirting back and forth with 50s and 60s there, but it's a cool day for us today. And as we zoom into these temperatures, really, we're not seeing too much of a change diving into this weekend or even early next week, too. Dry skies each day for us, too, in the Bay Area, anywhere from Santa Rosa all the way down into Nevada. We're just seeing partly cloudy skies for now. It'll look a little bit warmer and drier as we head into this weekend, but not by much. Friday and Saturday, we're seeing some more sunshine, but other than that, it's a very mild forecast for us here in the Bay. Now, our air quality over the weekend, especially during the holiday weekend, wasn't the best. Today, as we take a look at the forecast throughout this afternoon, we're sitting in that good to moderate category, anywhere from the North Bay down into the Santa Clara Valley. This is kind of wavering back and forth as we head into the next couple days, so we're monitoring that closely here in the Bay Area, and we'll let you know if there's any spare the air alert days. As for future cast, of course, that Tule fog over in the Sacramento Valley stretches 400 miles wide, and it was pushing its way throughout the Delta throughout the past couple days, bringing in some more dense fog for those communities in Solano County. Today, it's not looking that bad, though. We're going to see partly cloudy skies continuing to push in from the north, very mild as we head into the next 24 hours.
Well, the 49ers have the week off. The defense has some real momentum entering the bye week. And as Vern Glenn reports, one of the top performing players on defense joined the team just last month.
This is the Audi Red and Gold Report.
The 49ers are able to enjoy their bye week a lot more following that big win in Cleveland. After holding its last two opponents to single-digit point totals, the defense is hitting its stride at just the right time. Cleveland Ferrell has been a saving grace for the defensive line after sacking Browns quarterback Shedeur Sanders twice. His season total is 4 in just as many games. The 49ers signed the veteran pass rusher just over a month ago, and he's already the team's co-leader for sacks.
You weren't with this team a month ago. How surreal is it to be contributing the way that you are?
It's about just staying ready. You know, you never know how things going to turn out, and what a crazy year, but I'm so blessed just to be here. It can be tough when a player coming in mid-season, but I just got a great organization behind me, man, so that's all it really is. Just trying to listen to my coach and play hard.
With the Red and Gold Report, I'm Vern Glenn.
And tonight we have our weekly 49ers Experience show with Vern and Matt Lively. That is at 7:30 on KPIX and streaming on the free CBS News app. Every holiday season, CBS News Bay Area teams up with local food banks to make sure that nobody is going hungry in our community. We were at local food banks yesterday for Giving Tuesday as they were busy preparing food for families. And we want to thank all of the very generous donors who took their time to help out our neighbors. Even just $1 went as far as providing 6 meals at some of our food banks. But the need for donations continues, and we are lucky to have some incredible organizations stepping up to fill the need. Max Darrow was there for one of many big donations to Second Harvest Silicon Valley.
We are here at Second Harvest of Silicon Valley. They are working hard to fight food insecurity in our community and beyond. They serve 500,000 people a month across San Mateo and Santa Clara counties, and they're able to make such a big difference thanks to generous donations from groups and people and organizations like the Silicon Valley Turkey Trot. So I'm joined now, and you guys have a $186,000 donation. Laura, tell me about what went into raising this money.
Oh, absolutely. The Silicon Valley Turkey Trot is America's largest Thanksgiving Day race. Every year, we gather more than 20,000 community members in the spirit of gratitude to come together, have fun, and raise funds for wonderful organizations like Second Harvest Silicon Valley.
You're making a big difference in your backyard. How good does that feel?
Oh, it's wonderful, and we are thrilled to be able to present this funding and these funds raised by our community to Second Harvest this year.
Let's bring in Leslie Baccio, the CEO of Second Harvest. Leslie, $186,000. That means a lot of meals, doesn't it?
Absolutely. For every dollar donated, we can provide enough food for 2 meals. And this is such a special event that truly shows the power of community and what everybody can make possible when we come together.
You know, I ran this last year, and I felt good knowing I was making a difference, too. So thank you for everything you guys do in our community. And if you'd like to help out, head to kpix.com/give or scan the QR code on your screen.
And we'd love you to join us for our holiday special. That is Christmas night, 7 o'clock on KPIX and streaming on the free CBS News app. You can see the inspiring stories behind our effort to feed families across the Bay Area. Still ahead in the next half hour here on CBS News Bay Area farms growing increasingly worried about the bird flu, how local researchers are trying to prevent it from spreading.
And the longer this virus persists, the more species it persists in. So we don't know what's going to happen.
And this is a live look outside before we head to break over the city of San Francisco. It is 9:33. We're going to have another look at your top stories and a check in your first alert forecast when we come back.
You're streaming CBS News Bay Area.
Thanks for staying with us this Wednesday. I'm Ann Makovic, and here's another look at some of our news headlines this morning. The teen accused of shooting 3 people at the Valley Fair Mall has just been charged with attempted murder. The Santa Clara County DA is also asking a judge to try him as an adult. The 17-year-old was arrested over the weekend. He is also facing gang charges. A 21-year-old woman was also arrested, accused of helping the alleged shooter. All 3 people who were shot are expected to survive. The city of Richmond has a brand new police chief. Timothy Simmons was formally introduced at last night's city council meeting. Right now, he is the assistant chief for the Richmond PD. He's been with the department for 17 years. He's going to take over as chief in January. And the Bay Area is remembering Claude, the albino alligator. The Cal Academy of Sciences announced his death yesterday. He was 30 years old. Claude came to the museum in 2008, where he rose to stardom and became their unofficial mascot. The museum says they will hold a public memorial in the near future. All right, let's get another check on our first alert forecast halfway through the work week. Here's meteorologist Jessica Birch.
40s in the forecast later into this afternoon. It's similar to yesterday. We have another day of 60s, anywhere from the Santa Clara Valley all the way off into the East Bay. Let's actually zoom all the way into places like Antioch, all the way down into Livermore. Now, throughout this afternoon, it's relatively calm in these communities, but it's important to note that places along the coast or even close to Oakland, San Francisco, all along our Baymouth shoreline, as we head into the afternoon hours today, there's still a chance of coastal flooding, and we're monitoring that closely all the way down to places like Santa Cruz and Monterey, too. Reason being, king tides have returned, and that's the case each day as we head into this week's forecast until Sunday. We're going to monitor that closely for our low-lying communities, especially if you commute along those areas. Another day of those beach hazard statements. We've been seeing some choppy waters along the coast, so be very careful out there, too. We're also sitting in the low 60s along our coastline, so personal preference, not the biggest fan of heading into the water if it's that cold anyways. Here's what's happening for us as we head outside throughout the next couple of days. A couple things to mention. Over the weekend, our air quality wasn't the best. It's Wednesday now. We're starting to see some improvements in the forecast, but we're still kind of flirting in between that good and moderate forecast, widespread throughout the Bay. So that's going to vary as we head into the afternoon hours today, but we'll continue to monitor that closely here in the Weather Center. Taking a look at the next 7 days, we have 60s and 50s, kind of flirting back and forth with each other each day. Sunnier skies on tap for us, though, heading into Friday and Saturday to kick off this weekend. Partly cloudy skies with that morning fog returning into early next week. Really, it's a mild forecast for us throughout the Bay Area. Not a drop of rain in sight throughout the next 7 days. Temperatures are right around average, at least along the Bay. A little bit below average for some of our inland spots. Of course, upper 50s and lower 60s. It's chilly during this time of year, but this is also the time of year where our temperatures start becoming a little bit more hand in hand, unlike summer months where we're sitting in the triple digits off into our inland spots with 60s along the coast. So a little bit different for this time of year.
As winter approaches, health experts are raising new concerns about a resurgence of the bird flu. 3 farms in the North Bay have already been hit hard as birds migrate back into the Bay Area. Brian Hackney introduces us to a researcher tracking the virus and a farmer who's doing everything he can to try to protect his flock.
From the north coast of California to the Central Valley, 6 million wild waterfowl are now making their annual return into California.
And those are the kinds of birds that when they migrate down this time of year, over the last 4 years, are carrying this virus.
The virus is HPAI, highly pathogenic avian influenza, first detected in 1996. Decimating wild bird populations, then spreading into the world's food supply.
And the longer this virus persists, the more species it persists in. So we don't know what's going to happen.
At UC Davis, Maurice Pateski has been tracking the virus for years.
So we're in year 4 of this avian influenza outbreak that started in North America in November of 2021.
2 years later, more than 1 million birds had to be destroyed in Sonoma County alone. Already this year, 3 farms there have been infected, all the birds destroyed. Where are we with avian flu this year?
So it has come back again with a vengeance, and we're starting to unfortunately see all the consequences of that with respect to commercial poultry.
My name is Mike Weber, and we're in Petaluma, California, the egg basket of the world, or as it was known at one time. So this is where we process eggs. All the eggs that are produced on our ranches are brought here. This is Weber Family Farms' main ranch, where we have about 500,000 chickens.
2 years ago, the virus hit Mike's farm.
This one here, there's a little bit of a stain on it.
Back then, they had to destroy 3 million eggs and 550,000 chickens.
When your animals contract it, every bird on the premise has to be euthanized.
Are we going to see more of that as we get between now and February?
This year, it's hard to imagine that this is going to go away magically at this point. We're going to have millions of wild waterfowl in the Central Valley of California.
And that's how it begins each year, with the annual southern migration.
We have wild waterfowl that are moving into California by the millions. So by this time next month, we'll have about 6 million waterfowl.
And a flock of geese can basically poop while they're flying. The poop comes down, gets into a chicken house, into the air vents, and then one chicken contracts it, and at that point they just start cranking up virus until they all die. In the last 3 years, the country's lost over 150 million egg layers. 150 million. It's a massive threat. It's the biggest threat we've ever faced.
While reporting on this story, Brian also learned that the virus has been taking a heavy toll on elephant seal pups. We're going to bring you that report later this week. Bay Area air officials have hit Chevron with a $900,000 fine over emissions at its Richmond refinery. The air district says during a recent audit, 20 of Chevron's monitors were not set up properly to measure. The air district says it ordered Chevron to upgrade their monitors and then issued the fine when Chevron missed the deadline. Chevron says it has since made all the required upgrades, and the air district is verifying that all monitors are now working properly. In a statement, Chevron says it, in part, quote, "We believe we were having constructive conversations with the air district about a path forward when they chose to go the route of initiating enforcement. While we agree data and transparency is a good thing, this comes at a high cost with little benefit." Chevron also said that the instances of noncompliance happened during periods that should have been exempt, like when the system was closed down for calibration or maintenance. Coming up next, here on CBS News Bay Area, a big part of Stanford football's past has come back. The former quarterback now running the team. His name? Well, we'll let him tell you.
My name is Tavitaliu Motumotuani Leafi Pritchard, Jr. I'll give you a second to write that down.
Well, it's another cool and chilly day for us here in the Bay Area, with daytime highs sitting in the 50s and 60s widespread throughout the Bay. Now, in our inland spots, we're in the low 60s with partly cloudy skies, which has really helped us when it came to these beautiful sunsets that we've been seeing recently. And of course, this morning's beautiful sunrise, too. We'll see partly cloudy skies again tomorrow, sunnier conditions as we head into Friday and Saturday. But notice how daytime highs don't change that much even as we head into this weekend. Now, we make our way over into the Bay, similar conditions, upper 50s flirting with lower 60s each day for the next 7.
Well, today Stanford has a brand new head football coach. Tavita Pritchard was a quarterback for the team and is now returning. His former teammate, general manager Andrew Luck, introduced him, and Matt Lively was there.
A new era is underway for Stanford football as Andrew Luck has handpicked the 37th head coach in program history, and it's likely a name you've heard before. My name is Tavitaliu Motumotuani Leafi Pritchard, Jr. I'll give you a second to write that down.
For TV purposes, he is just Tavita Pritchard. The former Stanford QB comes back to the farm 20 years after first stepping foot on campus.
This place is so special to me. I think that's obvious, and the reasons are obvious. But to be able to come back here at this time with the university leadership doing what it's doing, the alignment throughout that team of people, including Andrew, there's excitement of being here.
Andrew Luck famously beat out Pritchard, and the two still have a healthy dose of competition.
Yes, I met him when I was 18 and beat you out.
Yes, I did eventually lose my starting job to some scrub named Andrew Luck. But for the record, I still believe I should have started over you. Let's make sure we get that written down, please.
The former teammates are now back under the same facility. Luck interviewed nearly 30 coaches, but ultimately selected a guy he's known all along.
The answer was clear. Coach Pritchard was by far the best leader for Stanford football.
For Tavita Pritchard, there was no question as to whether or not he wanted to come back to the farm.
Andrew, thank you, brother, for trusting me and believing in me to do this job. I cannot wait to build an elite system of support around these student athletes.
Pritchard has wasted no time. He coached his last game on Sunday Night Football with the Washington Commanders and then came to Palo Alto and addressed the team on Monday.
My name is Tavita Liumotumotu Ani Leafi Pritchard, Jr.
Had to hear that one more time. No, before Pritchard's time as the QB coach for the Commanders, he spent a decade as an assistant at Stanford. Every holiday season, the San Francisco Gay Men's Chorus takes the stage for its holiday spectacular. And this year, the Bay Area tradition returns with 8 performances across 4 different venues. The nation's first gay men's chorus is turning up the heat this winter with 300 singing members. And today on the Morning Edition, our Max Darrow asked their director about what we can expect of this year's show.
Not just shining like kick lines, boas, glitter, and sequins. It's also the shining of inner light, of finding an inner smile, of hopefully arriving to the concert, seeing the show, and leaving transformed, leaving different than you showed up.
You can catch the tour across 4 Bay Area venues: San Francisco, Berkeley, and Rohnert Park. Coming up here on CBS News Bay Area, it is the season of giving, and one woman has been doing just that for almost a century. What keeps her spirits high at 98 years old?
There's so many people that need help. Just with love and affection is all what they need.
Oh, thank you so much.
Well, all throughout the Bay Area today and tomorrow, we're seeing 60s in the forecast for us, widespread from San Jose off into the East Bay, stretched up into the Napa Valley. We're kind of flirting back and forth with 50s and 60s there, but it's a cool day for us today. And as we zoom into these temperatures, really, we're not seeing too much of a change diving into this weekend or even early next week, too. Dry skies each day for us, too, in the Bay Area, anywhere from Santa Rosa all the way down into Nevada. We're just seeing partly cloudy skies for now. It'll look a little bit warmer and drier as we head into this weekend, but not by much. Friday and Saturday, we're seeing some more sunshine, but other than that, it's a very mild forecast for us here in the Bay. Now, our air quality over the weekend, especially during the holiday weekend, wasn't the best. Today, as we take a look at the forecast throughout this afternoon, we're sitting in that good to moderate category, anywhere from the North Bay down into the Santa Clara Valley. This is kind of wavering back and forth as we head into the next couple days, so we're monitoring that closely here in the Bay Area, and we'll let you know if there's any spare the air alert days. As for futurecast, of course, that Thule fog over in the Sacramento Valley stretches 400 miles wide, and it was pushing its way throughout the Delta throughout the past couple days, bringing in some more dense fog for those communities in Solano County. Today, it's not looking that bad, though. We're going to see partly cloudy skies continuing to push in from the north, very mild as we head into the next 24 hours.
Well, every holiday season, CBS News Bay Area teams up with local food banks to help make sure nobody goes hungry. We were at local food banks yesterday for Giving Tuesday, and now we're getting an idea of just how much your donations have helped. According to the marketing agency Whole Whale, more than $4 billion is expected to be raised from today alone. That is up from more than $400 million last year, which set a record at $3.6 billion. But of course, as we know, more people than ever are in need of a little help this holiday season. So we want to introduce you to a woman who has a few years of experience of giving back. Max Darrow was at Second Harvest Food Bank in San Jose to introduce us to a 98-year-old woman who's continuing her tradition of giving this year.
Tell him anything, please.
A trip to Second Harvest's food distribution site at Our Lady of Refuge in San Jose has become a regular task for Soledad Rodriguez, who goes by Smokey.
Treat me like Queen Mary.
But to this woman, 98 years young, it's not a chore. It's a privilege.
Right now, there's so many people out the street that are living under trees.
She counts her blessings.
My dad taught us to be grateful and to be thankful.
And as her father did, she lives to give.
Sometimes he would go buy a big pig, cook it in the dirt, and go share it with everybody.
When Smokey and her son cook, they don't just make dinner for their table. They'll frequently make enough to give to people who are less fortunate and in need of a helping hand.
And right?
Usually, that means making a trip to the Guadalupe River or the public library on Tully Road.
There's so many people that need help. Just with love and affection is all what they need.
Potatoes, onions?
On this evening, her son made a few stops. Ask the people who are the beneficiaries of Smokey and her son's kindness.
It's hard out here, but I mean, for somebody to drop off some food, I mean, that's a start for us, you know what I mean?
Yeah, there you go.
Smokey is an inspiration to so many at Second Harvest of Silicon Valley, which now serves 1 in 6 people across San Mateo and Santa Clara counties.
So Smokey, who you just met today, is one of those people who we serve, but also who graciously gives back. She comes to the food distribution site, gets food, and delivers it out in the community, which is something that's just part of who she is, and it's just a wonderful thing to see.
Your house is beautiful.
Smokey finds joy and purpose through service.
Heavenly Father, thank you for the blessings.
And her compassion certainly is contagious. In her golden years, Smokey likes to live by the golden rule. Treat others the way you want to be treated.
To be treated the way we want to be treated. So, I mean, that's the best thing in life, right?
And she has no plans of slowing down on her mission to do just that.
Well, if you are feeling in the giving spirit after hearing about Smokey, we're partnering with our local food banks for our annual Food for Bay Area Families Drive. If you want to help, you can scan the QR code on your screen or head to our website, kpix.com/give. And again, we'd love you to join us for our holiday special that is airing Christmas night on KPIX and streaming on the free CBS News app. We're going to have all our inspiring stories behind the effort to feed families across the Bay Area. Thanks for streaming CBS News Bay Area. I'm Ann Makovic. We're going to be right back with your first alert forecast and another look at your top story.